So I'm gonna explain the fairly new skip on this level. That's at the first room after the first elevator. Saves a bunch of time, and it's really hard, and it's really inconsistent, and it kinda sucks. But what I do, first of all, I have my plasmas out. And the AR out. You wanna shoot those guys, and then what I do, I throw a plasma at the jackals just to kind of stop them from shooting at me. Then just kill all of these grunts as smoothly as you can. It's really easy to die here, by the way. Like that. The thing is, you wanna be aggressive on the grunts, but at the same time you wanna be really like... You don't wanna challenge if you know you can't live, but at the same time you have to be fast. It's just hard. And then the jackals come out of the door as well, and then the jackals are gonna kill you if you aren't fast enough. Like, as soon as the door opens, you wanna throw a frag at the jackals. That's what I usually do. Okay, that's weird. So, have your plasmas out, shoot these guys. I throw a plasma there. I switch to my frags, then hopefully these grunts are gonna die. Like that, throw a frag. Then I throw another frag. One thing to be aware of is your health right now, because if you drop down to 1 bar of health, you usually can't do the trick because it requires a frag jump, which is gonna kill you most of the time. So if you go down to 1 bar, I think it's better to revert to the elevator rather than try to see if you can get the trick. You can get the trick. If you have like a full 1 red rather than a low 1 red, you can get the trick. But right here, basically, you frag the jackals, right? And as I enter this tunnel, or this hallway, there's a trigger there that's gonna trigger a checkpoint. And the checkpoint is gonna happen as soon as you are in a safe spot, basically. And you don't wanna get the checkpoint as soon as possible. You wanna delay the checkpoint for the trick, so you can retry the trick as many times as you need to without really losing any time. So you frag the jackals, you pick up a plasma pistol. It's not a big deal if you cannot find a plasma pistol, you can do it with an AR as well. But I enter this hallway, right here the checkpoint gets triggered and then I can come back. You wanna keep shooting, because the point is to keep all of these enemies aggro to you so you cannot get the checkpoint. Jump on top of the barrel, and this is where you wanna find your setup. This is basically the setup I use, so... Okay, this is gonna be difficult to explain. As you can see my mouse cursor either. Okay. Well, you can just look where I'm positioned right now. The bottom left reticle is like the very bottom corner of it is touching the purple line, like the horizontal line, kinda. And then the top part of my reticle is there's like the line. There's like, like this dark area or like black area. So it basically is to the right of that. It's, you know, this is just how I set it up, but you can do whatever you want. I don't have the AR right now. I could show the AR setup as well. I have no idea where my AR is. Maybe I can find it. No, I can't. Whatever. I'm gonna... But, well, most of the time you wanna have a plasma pistol. By the way... Oh, I actually was bullshitting. I forgot. If you go down to 1 red, you can grab a health pack that's over there. I actually completely forgot about that. That doesn't cost you as much time. If you go to one red, just go grab the health pack and then get the checkpoint. But yeah, you wanna get to the setup. You wanna keep shooting, shoot the glass. Now switch to your pistol. Remember to have frags out. And now this is how I line up my pistol reticle. So there's the corner with, well, I got the checkpoint. Well, that's fine. That's actually fine to get the checkpoint because that's exactly where I wanted to get it. The thing is, you don't want to get the checkpoint before you have lined up the trick completely. So basically, when you revert, you don't have to do anything else but throw the frag and go for the trick. But my pistol, I line it, but there's this vertical line and this horizontal line, and I want the sides of my, like the circle are, the circle are basically, the sides of the circle are touching both the vertical and the horizontal line, but they don't, it doesn't go like this or this, but they're just touching them kinda. It kinda like sits in the corner, you know what I mean? And when you throw your frag, you wanna immediately look in the middle. Well, it should be in the middle. Depending on your setup, you wanna actually try this at first. So how to know if your setup is any good is just go to your setup, look in the middle and hold W. And if you clip through the light, then you know that your setup should work. Because let's say your setup is something like this, and then you try to do the same thing. That can happen if your setup isn't good enough. But now the timing of the frag. Like I said, you wanna throw the frag, look in the middle immediately. And now this is the hardest part of this entire thing. Easily the hardest part is to get the timing right. There are multiple different things you have to do. So throw the frag, look in the middle, and run forwards just when the grenade is about to blow up. And my visual cue for that is when my pistol, so you can see the animation Master Chief does when you throw a grenade with the pistol out. So he throws the frag, he pulls his pistol up, and then he brings it down again. And just before he brings it down again, I throw the frag. Another visual cue I used to have are the sparks that come from the frag. So you throw the frag, and after the sparks are pretty much gone, you run forwards. Kinda like that. But now, the things that can go wrong with your timing. You either go too early, you either go too late, well, or you nail the trick. Or you nail your timing. This first timing isn't all there is to the trick, by the way. But if you go too early, this is what happens. You're not gonna get hit by the nade, and you're gonna fall down. You go too late, this is what happens. You get hit by the nade, but you don't go out of bounds. And then, if you get it right, that looked really good because I just hit the trick like perfectly. You get hit by the frag and you clip out of bounds at the exact same time, and then you can land on the corner. But it's not as simple as that, because right before you clip out of bounds, right after you clip out of bounds, you need to stop holding W, and it can be really difficult to find the perfect timing for when to stop holding W. But this is a trick that says, at first, you have like no idea how people do this, And then after you get it a few times, then you start getting it down. It's all about just grinding it and understanding what you have to do, really. So, too early again. Too late. Perfect, but that's the problem. Even if you get the first timing right, then your W timing might be incorrect, and it's extremely difficult to tell if you're letting W go too early or too late. Like, I have no idea why I didn't get that. But basically, if you can get the clip out of bounds and get hit by the nade at the same time consistently, then you're doing everything fine. Then you just have to somehow find the W, thing. Something that works. So you get this, there we go. And now you land on the corner, and what I do here is I turn to look this way, I crouch, and then I put Master Chief about here. Now you can see that only the top part of my reticle is touching this texture, the map, and the bottom part is completely just in the gray area. You wanna have it like this, because if you have it like this and you run forwards from here, there's basically another corner right there, like there. You can kind of see the texture for it right there. There's another corner there, and you wanna run on top of that. If you're too close, you're gonna like fall down. So you wanna come back a little like this. Remind, I'm crouching right now. And then you just, basically when you get here, you just hold W to land here. You don't want to hold W for too long, because then you're gonna drop down over there. But now this is the other difficult part, I would say, which can be, I don't even fully understand this jump myself, to be honest. But so you get here, and there's this. So the goal is to get behind this wall I'm looking at right now. And there's this window, and this window is completely solid. So if you jump from there and hit your head on the window, you're gonna fall off. So you wanna make sure you don't hit the window. You can just run forwards and jump, and you shouldn't hit the window, but you wanna make sure you're not like jumping to the left. But there are like 3 ways I've seen people do this. The way I've been doing is I jump from about here, I turn to the right at the same time, and then I crouch to make sure I don't hit the window. But a few days ago, I found out that you can just actually run straight forward and jump, and you don't even have to crouch for it, and it works pretty well. And the third method is to use well, I've never done this before, really. So, dude, I need like Subo in the chat or somebody to tell me how to do this slow method. But yeah, this is like pretty slow. You can like come over here to the border, and then you can like jump backwards and crouch or something like I just fell off. But apparently that's like the easiest method, but that's the hardest method for me, I guess. Guess I've never done that before. But what I'd recommend doing is do a running jump. It also kind of sucks that you cannot get a checkpoint while out of bounds. So if you want to practice this, I suggest getting custom edition and then making a checkpoint here yourself. But I'm not on custom edition right now for reasons. Guess I tried to install custom edition and the game just wouldn't launch even though I installed it correctly. I don't know why. But I think the method you should do is just run straight, look down so you can see where you're going, and then right before you hit the wall, you want to jump. If you're having trouble with the jump, like you run, you jump, but then you just fall down and you don't know why you're falling down, that's probably because you're jumping too late and the game's eating your input. because you're jumping too late, even though it doesn't necessarily seem like you're jumping too late. But trust me, you're very likely jumping too late. So you wanna jump like right before the wall. Like that. You don't have to crouch for this. It looks like you have to crouch for it, but I think after you like get here, even if your feet aren't on top of the on the floor, I think the game like kind of pushes you on top of the floor somehow. That's what it looks like. But that jump can be a little tricky to get. Let's try again. Nailed it. Yeah, I would do that. That seems pretty easy. And that's the trick done. I don't know if there's anything else I should talk about, because I'm very likely forgetting something. I could show you one thing. If I can land the trick. Well, one thing I was confused, like when I was first learning this, I was like, how do you land on the corner? And the thing is, there is no answer. Like, I can't exactly tell you how to land on the corner. It's just because it seemed like everybody was better at this trick than me, and I was like, why? Like, how are other people able to do this so often? But it's just inconsistent. Like, it's really inconsistent. If you watch me do this trick like 20 times, I would hit it less than 5, maybe 5 times out of 20 attempts or something. But, well, this is one thing, like I said earlier, this is what happens sometimes. Like, you run forwards and you just fall down. You just want to back off a little more if that happens. Yeah, I think that's it. Nothing to add.